Most people already know that small habits matter. You've heard it 100 times. Exercise a little every day. Read before bed. Cut the junk food. And yet, nothing changes. So what's actually going on? It's not that you lack motivation. It's not that you need more willpower. The real problem is that tiny actions feel completely pointless in the moment. One healthy meal doesn't make you fit. One page of a book doesn't make you smart. One skipped workout doesn't make you unhealthy. So your brain just doesn't bother. Here's a question Darren Hardy asks at the start of the book. Would you rather have $3 million in cash right now or a single magic penny that doubles every day for 31 days? Most people take the cash, and that choice right there is exactly why the compound effect is so hard to trust. In the next 10 minutes, you're going to see how the small, boring choices you make every day are either quietly building the life you want or slowly pulling you away from it. So let's run the penny math. You start with 1 cent on day 1. Day 2, 2 cents. Day 5, you've got 16 cents. By day 10, you're still under $6. At this point, the person holding $3 million thinks you've lost your mind. But something starts to happen around day 20. You're at around $5,000. Day 25, you're at $160,000. Day 28, you cross $1 million. And by day 31, that single penny is worth over $10 million. That's the compound effect. Not magic, math. And it works exactly the same way in your real life. Think about one extra snack a day. Not a binge, just a small one. A bag of chips, a chocolate bar. In a single day, it's nothing. Over a year, that's a real measurable change in your body. Or flip it. 30 minutes of learning a new skill every morning. Feels like nothing on day 1. Over a year, that's nearly 200 hours of focused practice, enough to go from 0 to genuinely good at something. And right now, that matters more than it ever has. AI is eating whole job categories, and the people who survive that aren't the ones who panicked. They're the ones who spent the previous 2 years quietly compounding a skill the market actually needs. One small action, repeated without stopping, builds into something you almost can't believe came from such a tiny starting point. Darren Hardy's core idea is this: you never notice the compound effect while it's happening. You only see the result after the work is already done. There's no dramatic moment where you feel yourself becoming healthier, or sharper, or more disciplined. It's invisible. And that invisibility is exactly what makes it so easy to dismiss and so dangerous to ignore. Hardy uses the image of a bamboo tree to explain this. You plant it, you water it, and for years you see absolutely nothing above the soil. 4 years of watering a patch of dirt with 0 visible reward. Then in year 5, the bamboo shoots up nearly 90 feet in 6 weeks. Did it grow in 6 weeks? No. It spent 4 years building a root system strong enough to support that growth. Your habits work the same way. The results feel sudden, but the work was happening the whole time. And here's what most people miss. This math runs in both directions. Good habits compound into better results, yes, but bad habits compound just as quietly and just as reliably. Every small choice you're making right now, good or bad, is already in motion. So if the math is this clear, why do so many people still quit? Because there's a gap between planting the seed and seeing any growth, and that gap is brutal. It's called the plateau of latent potential. You do the work, you show up every day, you see nothing. And somewhere in that quiet stretch, you decide it's not working. You stop, and the moment you stop, you reset the clock. Here's a real-world version of this. 30 minutes of doom scrolling a day doesn't feel like much. It feels like a break, honestly. But 30 minutes a day adds up to over 180 hours in a year. That's nearly 8 full days of your life handed over to a phone screen. You didn't feel it leaving, but it's gone. Now, the people around you are compounding too. Think about the 3 types of people around you. the ones pulling you up, the ones who are neutral, and the ones quietly dragging you backward. Nobody sits you down and says, "I'm going to reduce your ambition over the next 2 years." It just happens through small conversations, small influences, small habits you absorb without realizing it. Your environment is either compounding for you or against you. There's no neutral position. You see this play out constantly in the creator economy. The people who blew up on YouTube or built a newsletter with 100,000 subscribers didn't appear out of nowhere. Most of them posted for 18 months to an audience of almost no one, compounding their craft, their audience, and their systems while everyone around them said it wasn't working. The breakout looked sudden. It wasn't. The other trap is waiting for the right moment, the perfect Monday, the fresh start after the holiday. A big motivating event that finally gets you moving. That moment doesn't exist. There's no switch that flips. There's only the next small choice, right now, and whether you make it or skip it. What actually breaks the quit cycle is awareness, specifically tracking. When you write down what you did today, you can't lie to yourself about it. So let's make this concrete. Pick one area of your life, just one, and ask yourself, what's the single daily action that, done consistently for a year, would genuinely change things? Not a full routine, not a complete lifestyle overhaul. One thing. That's where you start. If you're building a side hustle, that one thing might be an hour of focused work every morning before the rest of your day kicks in. Not a weekend sprint, not a big launch plan, just 1 hour, every day, compounding. Most side hustles don't fail because the idea was bad. They fail because people work in bursts and then stop, which means they're constantly starting over instead of stacking progress. This is what momentum actually means. The point isn't to move fast. The point is to keep moving. A tiny action done every single day without stopping will beat a massive action done 3 times a week every time, because the daily action never resets, it just keeps stacking. The easiest way to make sure it happens every day is to attach it to something you already do automatically. You already make coffee every morning. You already sit down at your desk. You already brush your teeth. Stack your new habit directly onto one of those. No willpower required. You just need a trigger that's already wired. The habit rides along for free. And while you're adding something good, look at what you can cut. This part gets skipped a lot, but deletions compound just as powerfully as additions. 1 less hour of TV a night is 365 hours back in your year. Not checking your phone the moment you wake up is a different mental state every single morning, stacked 365 times. You don't have to replace those hours with something intense. Just removing the drain is enough to feel it shift over time. Now track it. Get a simple calendar and put a check mark on every day you do the thing. That's it. After a week, you've got a streak. After 2 weeks, the streak itself becomes the motivation. You don't want to break it. The scoreboard makes the invisible visible. You stop relying on how you feel and start relying on what you can see. Feelings lie. A calendar doesn't. Go back to the penny for a second. The person who took $3 million in cash made the rational-looking choice. Immediate, real, certain money. But by day 31, it's spent. The person who trusted the penny, who sat through the boring early days when it was worth almost nothing, ends up with more than 10 million. The compound effect doesn't care how smart you are. It doesn't care how motivated you felt at the start. It only rewards the person who kept going when there was no visible reason to. So think about 1 year from now. If you picked one small action today and did it every single day without stopping, what does that actually look like? Not a fantasy, a real mathematical result. Because that's exactly what's available to you. The math doesn't change, only the consistency does. The compound effect is just this. Small choices made consistently add up to results that feel impossible until they're in front of you. That's the whole book. Pick one habit today. 1. Do it every day for the next 30 days without missing. Don't wait for the right Monday. Start with today's choice. And if you want to understand why your mindset either supports or quietly kills everything you're trying to compound, the video on The Strangest Secret goes straight into that. Link is right here. Subscribe if this video helps.